The 90s were a decade when rom-coms were at its pinnacle, TV shows and movies were actually amusing, pop music was at its finest, horror films were bone-chilling, and adolescent comedies were at their peak. And with that trend, it gave birth to a whole new batch of female stars that excelled in their respective fields. Though there are some stars in that decade that dwindled in star power today, nevertheless, they all remain iconic and are remembered for their contributions in the 90s. Hi, welcome to YouWannaWatch, and in this video, we're going to talk about the famous 90s female stars. Where are they now? Starting off our list, we have Drew Barrymore. Scream was the ultimate 90s horror film, and Drew Barrymore played Casey, also known as a terrified small-town girl in possession of a cordless phone met an untimely end. What happened to her? Drew went on to star in a number of noughties classics, including Charlie's Angels, Never Been Kissed, and Donnie Darko, and now hosts her own show, The Drew Barrymore Show, in which she interviews a variety of celebrity guests. In the United States, she also has her own beauty line called Flower. Reese Witherspoon. Let's go back to 1999, when we thought nothing could separate Reese and her Cruel Intentions co-star Ryan Phillippe. What happened to her? Reese, of course, divorced Ryan in 2007, and she is now happily married to Jim Toth. Reese, who still has major girl crush credentials, went on to star in hit shows like The Morning Show and Big Little Lies, as well as the film adaptation of Cheryl Strayed's Wild. She is also one half of the production company Pacific Standard, which is dedicated to bringing more female-led stories to the big screen. Christina Aguilera. We were obsessed with Christina's genie in a bottle, as well as her love of handkerchief tops and flares, so much so that we diligently sought out lookalikes from the nearest Tammy. What happened to her? She released Loyal Brave True, a song from the live-action remake of Mulan, and performed 2 dates with the Los Angeles Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl in July of this year. Dreamy. Furthermore, it has been reported that many of Christina's iconic 90s fashion looks are making a comeback this summer. Halter tops are on the way. Michelle Williams. In Dawson's Creek, Jen Lindley was the cool girl to Katie Holmes' girl next door. What happened to her? After her big TV break, Michelle moved into indie territory with films like Blue Valentine and My Week with Marilyn, as well as The Greatest Showman and Venom. She's been nominated for 4 Oscars and has wowed us with her iconic bleach blonde cropped hair. Brandy Norwood. We were already big Brandy fans, so watching Moesha was a no-brainer, especially since it featured great guest appearances from TLC and Usher. What happened to her? She is still acting and recording music, and she has appeared on stage, starring in the Broadway classic Chicago and in the rom-com series Zoe Ever After. And, as an unstoppable force, she released her 7th studio album, B7, last 2020. Jennifer Aniston. We wanted Rachel's friends, her love interests, her slip dress collection, and, most importantly, that haircut back in the 90s. What happened to her? Without a doubt, Jennifer's hairstyles are still as iconic in 2021 as they were back then. She's gone from strength to strength since Friends ended, starring in a slew of successful films, but The Morning Show marked her return to a major television role. Jennifer produced and appeared as a TV presenter on the show, which primarily focused on the #MeToo movement. The 3rd season is set to be released fall of 2022. Katie Holmes. Dawson's Creek's tomboy Joey Potter was the original girl next door, and she made a strong case for dungarees and baggy tees along the way. What happened to her? Katie has talked more about her timeless bra and cashmere cardigan look from the 90s in recent years, and we're still so obsessed with it that many high street brands have imitated it. She is now a mother to Suri, has a cameo in the all-female Ocean's 8, and co-starred in the indie film Coda with Patrick Stewart. Julia Stiles. Kat Stratford, played by Julia Stiles in 10 Things I Hate About You, was the black sheep of her school, but she was always the coolest member of the cast to us. What happened to her? Julia went on to star in the Bourne franchise in the 2000s, and you may recall her as Jennifer Lawrence's uptight sister in Silver Linings Playbook and the journalist in Jennifer Lopez's smash hit Hustlers. Julia is married to Preston J. Cook, a cameraman assistant, and they have a son named Strummer Newcomb Cook. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. After becoming famous as the cheeky child stars of Full House, Mary-Kate and Ashley created an impressive number of to-video movies set all over the world that, let's face it, we all binged as kids. What happened to them? Mary-Kate and Ashley sidestepped into fashion with their joint label, The Row, after continuing a lucrative acting career based on their twin dom. They've let younger sister Elizabeth Olsen take the reins on the acting front, despite being praised for their granny chic style and sleek designs for their label. Julia Roberts. The sass Julia Roberts' character Vivian Ward gave when she yelled, "Big mistake." Big, huge, and Pretty Woman was iconic. We also wanted her entire wardrobe. What happened to her? Julia may not have replicated the commercial success of Pretty Woman with subsequent roles, but she's amassed an impressive filmography, including roles as vigilante lawyer Erin Brockovich and globetrotter Elizabeth Gilbert in Eat, Pray, Love, which has kept her firmly in A-list territory. She most recently appeared in her first TV series, Homecoming, in 2018, where she played a caseworker at a secret government facility. Sarah Michelle Gellar, SMG, portrayed Buffy Summers, a vampire and demon slayer. For goodness sake. Was there a more appealing 90s heroine? On our watch, no way. What happened to her? Sarah became a mother after marrying the ultimate 90s heartthrob, Freddie Prinze Jr., and launched the cooking and lifestyle company Food Stirs, which sells baking kits. Cute. Rachel Lee Cook. Rachel Lee Cook won our hearts, and she's all that as the artsy, socially awkward Lainey Boggs. What happened to her? Check out Rachel in the new Netflix remake of She's All That. It's a gender-swapped version called He's All That, and she plays a single mother to Addison Rae's main character, Paget. Rachel also appeared in the Netflix film Love, Guaranteed, co-starring Damon Wayans Jr., in which she plays a lawyer who sues a dating app. Sarah Jessica Parker. Carrie Bradshaw, in retrospect, was a pretty bad friend in SATC, but she also had the ultimate walk-in wardrobe. What happened to her? SJP unexpectedly transitioned from actress to designer, launching her own line of shoes and handbags at Bloomingdale's. She currently worked on the reboot of SATC and Just Like That. Though having mixed reviews, it is said that the series has been greenlit for a season 2. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder was one of the most iconic actors of the 90s, and her role in Edward Scissorhands was the pinnacle of our adoration for her. She gave us hair goals in the pre-straighteners era with her flicky, strawberry blonde blow-dry. What happened to her? Hawkins is the location. In Netflix's smash hit Stranger Things, Winona has brought her late 80s to 90s era grunge look back to her screens as Joyce, the mother figure everyone needs. We can't wait for season 4 to begin. Melissa Joan Hart, Queen of Television. Hart rose to prominence after appearing on Clarissa Explains It All from 1991 to 1994 before assuming the role of Sabrina Spellman on Sabrina the Teenage Witch in the late 1990s. Less than a decade later, Hart starred as Melissa on Melissa and Joey for 4 seasons before taking on the role of Liz on No Good Nick in 2019. She is married to Mark Wilkerson, with whom she has 3 children. Alicia Silverstone. Cher from Clueless plaid heavy wardrobe remains an icon for all time. What happened to her? While Alicia continues to dabble in acting, she devotes much of her time to animal rights activism. Alicia married the musician Christopher Jerky, with whom she has a son, Bear Blue. Alicia filed for divorce from Jerky in May 2018 after more than 20 years together as a couple, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. Candace Cameron Bure. DJ, Full House's eldest daughter, was played by Candace Cameron Bure again. Tanner, from 2016 to 2020, in the Netflix reboot of the hit 90s show Fuller House. The California native has become a Hallmark Channel staple, starring in a number of the network's Christmas movies and directing the Aurora Teagarden Mysteries films. Candace Cameron Bure, in addition to acting, was a daytime talk show co-host on The View from 2015 to 2016. Valerie Bure is her husband, and they have 3 children. We are nearing the end of our video, but before we proceed, we would like to ask you to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/c/YouWannaWatch2022 and follow us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/YouWannaWatch. Okay, now back to the story. Jodie Sweetin. Jodie Sweetin made headlines in the years following the end of Full House when she fell into a drug addiction cycle before finally getting clean and sober in December 2008. She returned for 5 seasons as Stephanie Tanner, the middle daughter, on the Netflix reboot Fuller House, which premiered in 2016. She also appeared for 2 seasons on the reality show Hollywood Darlings. She is the mother of 2 daughters. Gabby Hoffman. Those dark brows couldn't be mistaken for anything. Hoffman portrayed a young Samantha in Now and Then in 1995, but these days, the actress is more concerned with coming into her own. After a stint on Girls as Caroline Sackler, Gabby Hoffman went on to play Ollie Pfefferman opposite Jeffrey Tambor on Transparent from 2014 to 2019. Robin Tunney. The Craft may have made co-star Neve Campbell famous, but Tunney was unquestionably the film's star. Following the success of the 1996 teen thriller, the Chicago native kept a low profile, later taking on larger roles in Prison Break, The Mentalist, and The Fix. Christina Ricci. America's favorite wide-eyed goth girl made her film debut as Wednesday Addams in 1991's The Addams Family. but she's since expanded her resume with films like Now and Then, The Ice Storm, Sleepy Hollow, Prozac Nation, and the short-lived TV series Pan Am. She also appeared in Z, The Beginning of Everything, and the Lizzie Borden Chronicles. The Casper actress filed for divorce from her husband James Hierdegan in June 2020. Freddie is the couple's son. And finally, we have Christine Taylor. Marcia. Christine Taylor starred as perfectly coiffed Marcia Brady in the 1995 film adaptation of the 1970s sitcom The Brady Bunch, and went on to play a number of blonde bombshell roles in films such as The Craft, The Wedding Singer, Friends, and Zoolander, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Arrested Development. The Pennsylvania native and her husband, Ben Stiller, announced their separation in May 2017, but it seems that the couple got back together as per a recent Ben Stiller interview with Esquire, revealing that it's been wonderful. What do you think about our list? Who is your favorite 90s star? Did we miss anything or anyone that you think should have been included? Let us know your thoughts by writing a comment on this video. If you're interested in our other videos, just hover over the videos and just press play. Until next time, watchers, thank you for watching our video.